Street Sneak Body.
I I just did not
Street
care
Sneak
about
Body.
Famous, but I he didn't really deserve it. So I guess we should probably start the video off with a little moment of silence for Famous.
What's the 411? What's the 411? R.I.P. my nigga Famous.
Disgusting. Yeah, I look, I get it. I get why everybody's sad. I just didn't care about Famous that much. I just
It's
got to be
this.
honest.
It's Raising Kanan's Raina.
That's crazy.
Raising Kanan's Raina.
No, I'm not with that at all.
Yeah, that's what
Oh
it is.
no, and that's staying in the edit. I'm keeping that in this edit.
Let's talk about some obvious suspects here, right? Let's play a little bit of Clue, right?
Okay.
So let's talk about who had motive. Let's talk about who had opportunity, and let's talk about who's most likely. Who has motivation to kill Famous? So let's start with Big Killer herself, Miss I Kill Everybody whenever I see the need.
Rock.
Yeah, I mean, obviously she has motivation to kill him. He has information on Kanan. He has his own legal issues going on. He a little shaky. We don't know what he is and ain't gonna say. So it would be easier just to get him out the way.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously throw Rock up on the list
Like
in
you
terms
said,
of
she
motivation.
does kill everybody for sure.
Revenge kill from mentally spiraling Unique. I guess we can't necessarily rule that out.
Yes, he's been making a lot of moves that don't really make sense.
Like if he just so happened to run into Famous while he trying to lay low and be like, "Oh, nigga, I want you there.
You Kanan's homeboy.
Right, you
Give me
Kanan's
some
homeboy.
information. Give me some information on Kanan, and he ain't got.
I
nothing,
ain't got
so
no
he kills him.
information. Well, I ain't got no time then.
Yeah.
Blam. I guess we still don't know how he actually died. I mean, we know he did, but we don't know what happened to him.
That's also true. Okay, so Unique, Rock.
Let's say Garcia is my wild card.
Is that even a wild card though? Really?
Well, I think it would be I want to say least likely, but I don't mean
because
least
he's
likely.
a cop.
Yeah, just because he's a cop. You know what I'm saying?
He's got a lot to lose in killing somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Who else is motivated to kill Famous? It could be his long lost daddy, but that'd be crazy for him to.
I did bring that up before, but I don't know if that's for real. But
he waited a decade. He said,
"Yeah, kind of crazy.
Long game, nigga. You learn that if you stayed with me."
That's wild. I mean, but possible, I guess. I mean, I guess we can't rule anything out.
I also can't rule out family, Freddie's family. What's the 411?
The family of who he actually killed.
411 thought the streets was ill until I shot that gun.
Sure. Possibly. I mean, they would have to find out that he did it.
Man, the streets talking. The streets need a body.
Well, no, he's talking.
Streets need a body.
And well, okay. So, is there anybody else? Nobody from the music industry would have done anything like this. Oh, by the way, in the flashbacks, Jess was mad old. Like the same actor played
literally same age. They tried to play the fuck out of crazy.
I was like, how old is she now?
So I feel like that's everybody who has a motive to kill Famous. I don't think we're missing anybody. Does Kanan have any other enemies? Did Ronnie do Famous before he was on his way out? No.
I mean, because of the timeline, it could be possible,
it's
but
possible,
not likely.
Probably not likely. Motive, yeah, that's it. I think that's it on motive. Now, means that expands the list a little bit, but it doesn't. I feel like it doesn't really pull anybody up into a realistic view.
We also didn't say himself. The mattress being on top of you after you off yourself is kind of crazy.
Does he have the motivation? Does he have motive? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
I would say so. He's been dealing with this. Burden.
Yep.
And the cops are after him potentially. So
potentially, yeah. You're right. You're right. So let's absolutely put that into play. Um, I mean the what's it call it the previews for next week kind of take that away. I think that we would know pretty soon into the autopsy whether or not it was self inflicted or even looked that way. So okay, so where are we on to? We're on to Means, who has
Mm-hmm.
the logistic wherewithal to make this happen and for it to go quietly. Obviously, Rock.
Yeah.
Obviously, Garcia. Both of those names shoot to
Garcia,
the top of the
sure.
list. Um,
Mm,
I think whoever random insert random family member from Freddy Revenge Kill could
hmm
be anybody. So yeah, if we don't even have that person really into view, we can kind of set them to the side. Um,
If you put Ronnie on the other list, then I think Howard could potentially be on this list, trying to
clean up for
trying to
Kanan.
clean up everything. Yeah, yeah,
That would be ill. That would be ill. That would almost kind of justify the little, the move Rock made at the end of last season.
yeah.
Um, Most likely, I'm zeroing in on Garcia or Rock. Man, I just don't see the gang motivation. I feel like we
hmm
would have seen Unique do it.
Yeah. Why
Um,
would they hide this from us?
yeah, I'm going Rock or Garcia on Famous.
The only thing that's preventing me from just going all in on Garcia is what really would be the reason for him to do it, considering he could just lock him up and keep himself from catching a murder case on it, but we don't. I guess there's maybe an angle to it that we don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
Um,
he was maybe pressing Famous. Maybe Famous got nervous because he'd been talking to the police. He put him up somewhere. Famous started to be like, "Nah, I ain't doing this shit no more." And he was like, hold on." Again, a conflict ensues, and he ends up dead.
and then yeah, okay. So then yeah, because he's a cop, he would know what to do to at least hide the body for an extended amount of time. I mean, he didn't do a good enough job to obviously prevent anybody from finding him, but
Mm-hmm.
he kept it out of reach and out of his hands at least for quite some
Mm-hmm.
time.
And now with Rock, it's not really hard to think that maybe Andre had got wind of Famous's arrest and who he was talking to, and maybe what about.
Mm,
And
hmm
so if she gets wind of that, is it's not very hard to put two and two together on how that might have came about. And I also know that from the D Will situation and Scrap that she wouldn't have wanted to use Marvin or Lulu for that
hmm
type of business, so she probably would have outsourced it.
That makes sense. That all makes sense. And then the way Kanan specifically, the way he was narrating it, the way he kind of went, "Oh, I got nothing for y'all. This just hurt. This shit just hurt."
Mm-hmm.
That would make me feel like this is a character turn for Kanan to where there's no turning back for him with his
Whoever
relationship
killed
with Rock.
Famous is scorched earth, and if it's somebody that's close to him, if it's his mother, that's done. We done permanently. Like
Yeah,
it's over.
yeah,
You get one best friend. You don't get two, motherfucker.
right. So at that point, I feel like it's over for their relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to end up doing, I guess, whatever he got to do in that
Whatever you
situation.
gotta
So
do. Yeah.
I could see that as well. That's tough. Yeah, I don't I don't know between both of them. I could see it. So
Outside chance that this is, no, I was gonna say maybe Stefano or Juan, but why?
yeah,
Why?
Stefano
Why
doesn't have
Famous?
a real reason.
Neither does
Juan doesn't
Juan.
either.
Mm-mm.
So
Quan.
uh,
Quan. Keep
Quan,
calling
yeah.
that man Juan. Wrong race. Wrong. wrong. Wrong demographic.
Yeah, nah, yeah. Quan wouldn't really have a reason to either. Um, her new connect wouldn't have a reason to. I'm just trying to think of characters we haven't thought of.
That we haven't brought up recently. Again, random family member from Freddie is still a viable option because I
It
mean
absolutely is.
it's New York. It's a big place. Could be people could be moving in silence, but yeah. My money is on Garcia or Rock.
Fair. That's fair. Okay. And then I am still hating this for Jukebox. I'm still hating this character
Natural
turn.
born killer.
Like she's getting worse, but it's like what you're not really explaining. Like, okay, yeah, she did see her friend get done dirty by homeboy, but she's just getting worse and worse, and it's just like you're not explaining this well enough for me to really believe it.
She's making some very eerie allowances. Like the
Yes.
conclusions that she's drawing, I can see how a well-intentioned juke looks like this, but draws those type of conclusions, and the same exact person with ill intentions ends up being the person that we see down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is how it starts. Like, oh well, it was her or you. I had to kill her. Well, y'all didn't have to go there in the first place. That's the conclusion I would draw. Not
Yeah.
it was her or you, and I had to do it, and it is what it is. And plus, my friend's fine with it anyways. Like your friend being upset about her ex-husband being shot is not the reason why you should feel remorse or why you shouldn't be sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
Mm-hmm.
not the her being upset about it isn't the point. And
Yeah.
again, that level of detachment shows you who she's going to be down the road, right? When she's getting a little bit more experience under her belt.
Mm-hmm. And somebody in the comments of the last video mentioned the fact that like she's been around all of this her whole life, and it's like I understand that to a certain degree, but like she's never been this person before. She had an entire ass life of singing and previous girlfriends, and things were okay in her life. She was very sane up until now, honestly.
Mhm.
And now it just seems like something is flipped in her, and there's no real explanation aside from she witnessed her new friend, her friend that she hasn't even had that long, getting beat by her husband. It's not doesn't really
Um,
justify it to me.
I don't. I never really took Jukebox to be one to hesitate in these situations. Now we haven't seen her in a direct life or death situation with a weapon,
Mm-hmm.
but Juke is not one that we felt like we needed to see it with. Like we've heard her talk about certain situations, with the business where she understands, what the jeopardy is.
Mm-hmm.
She understands what work needs to be done at certain times.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like it's a foreign issue. It's not that we couldn't have seen this happen for Juke this exact way, the way that it actually went. Um, I don't think it's that far of a stretch that we ended up where we're at, that she's so detached from killing. Her father is the muscle. So we can play crazy like we want to, but like you can only keep so much of that from coming home. You know what I mean? You can only hide so much of what Marvin does and what he has been for the family and the business.
Mm-hmm.
That's your dad.
Yeah.
Okay. Not not to mention your own father beat the hell out of you with his bare hands.
Yeah.
It's gotta desensitize you to a certain degree. So I don't think it's too far off. We haven't seen her tote guns or, have direct bouts of violence with, people that she had to get close to killing or kill.
Mm-hmm.
But, that's kind of the only threshold that we haven't crossed yet with her.
Yeah. For comparison purposes, I look at Unique and his change, and I see it as believable. Now, granted, he had to get his skull bashed in to get to this point,
Well,
but it's
even
a
he
little
is
bit
not.
more believable.
There hasn't been any diagnosed ill with Unique. It's just like, oh well, he's not the same person. Well,
Right.
so not the same person means that he can't logic, like he can't get from point A to point B
Mm-hmm.
reasonably. Uh, he didn't walk through what now 3 motherfuckers who have no idea what this whole Rock killed my brother and took my business bullshit is. Like nobody's connecting those dots for you. You're not even
Yeah.
trying to connect them anymore. Like it's just
No.
you know what it is, so let's just go about it, And you didn't have the Italian tell you, you didn't have early Tyler tell you, hey, I don't necessarily think you got it all together though.
Love the Italian telling him everything. I sat there while that Italian man told him everything. And I'm just like, fucking facts.
Yeah,
Facts, 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 facts.
bro, I didn't hear nothing about that, and I would know. Well,
Right.
what you know about what happened to me? Well, brother,
It's my job to know.
you was asleep for like 2 days. Like I don't know why you feel like you just got all the pieces together.
Right.
How does crack to the skull not equal? Maybe let me verify some shit, or maybe I'm not the best judge.
Right.
It's very convenient for the conclusions he's drawing. Like again, I think it would have served the audience a little bit better if this either actually did come from some betrayal from Rock, or there was some leeway, some crumbs, like there was a private meeting between Ronnie and Rock that Unique saw.
So we've been kind of highlighting this season-long arc of Marvin kind of doing his own thing without Rock, and he killed Homeboy from the factory. So like,
yeah, he once again, we just doing stuff. We are just doing things. We did that with the bookie thing, and you didn't have to put the op in position on your word based off of that. Now, what you got? Now I know he's gonna try to press the cousin into taking over, but like, what about his wife? What about the rest of the family? Do he got kids? Is anybody else gonna question the fact that he's gone? Like he just kind of does shit without thinking. Oh, but then when your mama needed, that was a crazy part.
That was so crazy.
I liked this episode until that.
Yes.
Like literally until that part.
Yes, agreed.
Also,
because it made her into that same one that we saw last season.
Well, it's just kind of unreasonable. It's just like
very unreasonable.
Why are we telling a story about euthanizing our parents? Why does everything come back around to killing your parents with power? Why does everything in this universe have to do with like killing your parents?
Yeah. Yeah.
We got parents killing kids, kids killing parents. And it always comes back to that for the show. In one way or another.
It does, unfortunately. It's kind of wild. But I guess in that sense, at least the Terry thing, not his mom, it really does look like the wolves are circling Rock. And I think that's when potentially Kanan could come in and, land that final blow. I mean,
he got his cut. He definitely got his cut. He's been skimming for a while. He's been preparing for an exit.
Quan keeps increasing the price on her. The warehouse worker is gone. Her lawyer's gone. Unique's still alive. Marvin's doing things without her.
I don't see him allowing Unique to kill his mother and then working with him and Quan. Now, that's not about to slide. That's not about to go down like that.
Sure.
So, however this shit shakes out by the end of this season, if Rock ends up out the way, that's going to end up a problem for Unique. Another thing is Lil Bit. What's your deal, bro? Like, how did he convince you not to tell Kanan? That's a big thing to me. Like that he's just in a live rat for Unique now. Why? This man has nothing.
I have no idea.
You don't got 2 nickels to rub together. He threatened you and walked away. The minute he walked away, you safe. Tell Kanan so they can protect you.
Right.
What we doing?
What we doing? That's insane.
Why are you still playing these bullshit games talking about you about to throw up in his car or whatever? Like, or you need a tissue or some shit.
Yeah, tissue, yep.
What's going on with you? Shout out to 50 Cent though for casting a little person. That's see,
for sure.
He already got one up on Peter Dinklage.
Yikes. Lulu and Homegirl. They gotta stop.
Why?
I don't care. I don't care.
Nah, Lulu needed some deep chocolate loving. He was out there.
I like her.
And
she's cool.
In Boniquaville.
I just don't care about the plot.
He was out there in Boniquaville and he had his head all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? He had his shit all topsy-turvy. He needed to come back home for a second. and get some of that blackberry juice, and this is gonna get his mind right. You know what I'm saying?
I like her. She's good looking, and I like her way more than I like Jess.
Yeah, because Jess
So
was a skeezer. He needed to
yes,
come home and get his affairs in order.
1000%. I just at the same time I don't care about the subplot anymore. Like the
Well, yeah,
artists they're trying to sign,
yeah, all of that
them
is a
being
bit much. Like
on.
we can
Oh,
kind of expedite that a bit. But now that I know that they're getting another season, I thought this was going to be the last season, so I just
yeah.
didn't think we had time. But yeah, they want to keep it going, baby. So I guess we got a little
Oh.
bit more time.
Well, I guess okay. I guess in some respects, I could be happy that Lulu has gone from an attempt on his own life last season to hopefully maybe finding some love here. But dog, I don't care. I don't care at the same
Yeah, no,
time.
I really don't like having a big connection to him becoming this big time record producer. Somebody probably gonna shoot up his shit and ruin his whole career because a
Right.
rocker, something's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna go to jail. It's gonna ruin his reputation. That's just how this shit go.
I'll say this: when I started the show, I didn't think that I'd have more of an investment in Marvin than Lulu, because Lulu started off doing some crazy shit, and I thought that was the character that I really was invested in. Now we've flipped, and now I care way more about Marvin and what he got going on than anything Lou got going on.
You know what? I've almost forgot that Marvin lost that girl. He lost that woman that he was really feeling, the
The
therapist.
therapist,
Yeah, man, I had almost forgot all about her. Because I was getting
yeah,
ready to say, well, Lulu fell much further than Marvin, but no, Marvin
mm-hmm.
had to work his way back too. So yeah, I think
I
I
think
am a
that
little
whole
bit more invested in
season
Marvin.
that whole season for Marvin changed things
Yeah,
because he almost got shot himself, or he almost got killed himself, and he lost a lot, and he became a major player for Rock as opposed to Lou eh, deciding to invest all his
to
time
go
into
the other
music.
way. Yeah, go
Yeah,
the other way.
yeah. Because we started with him killing D Wiz and all that. So like, yeah, I just didn't think we'd end up at this point, but here we are. Here we are.
Mm,
All right. Any other thoughts on episode 5?
Nah, that's it, man. Give us your thoughts on season 4
Yep.
of Raising Canaan, episode 5. Put your comments in the prompt below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Come back every Monday for another Raising Canaan review.
Absolutely. And it seems like the viewership is growing again. We got over 1,000 views on the last one. So shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all continue watching. There are playlists for some of the other Power reviews that we've done. Power Book 2 Ghost, Power Book 3 Raising Canaan, and Power Book 4 Force. Make sure you check those out. And then as always, like he said, make sure you're here Monday, 10 o'clock. We'll have another recap for you guys. Peace.
R.I.P. Famous. What's the 411? What's the 411? Thought the street was ill until I shot that gun.
Oh my God, I hate it.